Hi, this is Beard, and today I wanted to have a little rundown for my non-nerfing friends about nerfing, or specifically, what nerf gun to choose for your LARP character. And there's a lot of information out there. It took me a few good months to get a hang of it all, and stuff change all the time. What the hell? Let's have a little rundown of what we have. So first of all, let's look at the types of ammo, because there are several types out there, and you might have encountered some games might not allow some types, and the most basic common ammo you have is these, just regular elite darts. They're called. They're micro darts. They fit into almost the majority of Nerf blasters and the majority of the other brands. And of course, you can get them in a different variety. This is the older type. This is just called clip system. This is nicknamed nipple darts. These are vinyls. There's also, you get them in rubber, nice soft rubber tipped. And of course, you can get them off cheaply from China. These glow in the dark, in the dark. And of course, you've got even older types. These are whistlers, and whistlers supposedly whistled. Sometimes they actually did. These won't fit into most most contemporary blasters because of their thicker head. As you can see, almost the same length, but they've got a thicker head. Besides these, we have the bigger mega darts. What are my mega darts? And they are, as the name implies, bigger. Just to compare, these are 1/2 inch wide. These are 3/4 of an inch wide, and these do whistle. You see, they've got little whistle holes here, and they whistle pretty well. And I find them, people find them intimidating to run away whenever I fire these, so I like them. Of course, these might be more expensive. Talking about costs, these I haven't found a good source for cheap ones from China, so I'm getting the official brands. But the smaller types, these types, you can get a lot of stuff, and they're reasonably good. There's even a type called Cruise that's considered better than Elites on most blasters. It changes between blaster and blaster. Okay. Another more extinct type, because apparently they're not gonna make any more of these. The last ones they did were 2014. Are Vortex. These shoot these little discs, and you can hardly get these anymore straight from Hasbro, and they're very expensive. So of course you get them off-brand. The off-brand discs, I found the green ones have a little protruding lip. There might be a bit of a protruding lip here, and it could cause a bit of a jam, but that's why you mod your blasters. I'll explain that later. There's also these ones, the white ones, that sometimes have deformations on this plastic. This is a much flimsier inner plastic. Here, they're pretty much the same material. So again, they will fly pretty much the same, unless they have trouble firing, and these might have trouble if you didn't accommodate that by changing a few things in your blaster. And of course, you get them by the dozen cheaply from China. AliExpress or eBay, shouldn't be hard if you know how to use those sites. And some other things you might encounter are different types of rockets. This is a Blastzuka rocket. It's from a different company, Busby Toys, and they make a really nice air blaster. I'll show later on. And it came with 2 of these. Some games have special rules about these. These can break shields or break armor or kill monsters. Some games even give mega darts those rules. And of course, Nerf has their own brand of grenades or rocket propelled grenades. I don't have any of those, but they're out there. They probably won't interchange. Depends on this inner diameter. Okay. So how do you choose your blaster? Well, it depends on what your character needs to do. Is it just a bartender or a tavern wench or a businessman who just needs something small for self-protection? So maybe one of these work. These are just simple one shot. You just prime them, and shoot, and that's it. You gotta get another one, put it in. And these are very small. You can see this one fits in my hand. But some are bigger. This is pretty much the same thing. This is Nerf Jolt. Nope, you can't see. This is same thing, but bigger. Mu, but better. This shoots mega darts. Much more bang for them. And another type, pretty much every type of ammo has some sort of single shooter. This is the Proton. You can probably find these in thrifting stores or some websites. And it's not a front loader. It's a back slide. And you fire it. It's beefier than the others, but I like it because it's very strong and accurate. Discs fly a bit differently than regular darts. They don't go as fast, but they, because of their work like a frisbee, they hover away, they glide away, and they curve through the air. And they curve really persistently. They curve the same way each time. Unlike darts that can go. So these are my single fire, slowed single fires. Next on, your character might need something that you can load once and shoot several times. And you can either be. I don't have any elite blasters that do that. But I do have this. It's the Mega Cyclone Shock. It's a 6 shooter, as you can see, and you just prime it and fire. Ready? All the way and fire. I had it here. Just had a jam because I didn't prime it all the way. But nice big bang. This one was modded, so it might be louder than usual. I'll explain that later. And these are nice. You can load them and fire them several times before you have to reload. And this is a turret-based, or not turret, a cylinder-based blaster, so you can load it while you play. You can pick up ammo from the floor if you're allowed to, or you can do it while engaging. Just put it in, and even while you're still primed. Another type would be internal magazine. This is another Vortex blaster, of course. I like these. And this one works pretty much the same. You load your discs into here. This can hold up to, technically up to 5, but you can screw around with it and make it hold up to 7. And you just fire. Pretty easy. Okay. Another type you might consider is this thing. This is a barricade. It's the ancestor of the stockade. And currently it's just in the middle of working on it, modding it up. So it's not going to work, but this one was painted to look nice in the game. And most game would require you to paint. That's okay. I painted the edge, the edge of the barrel over the orange. Some games require you to have the orange for safety reasons. So make sure you know what your game's gonna be like. And this is the same thing. You've got a turret on the front that you turn, but this one just fires using a flywheel system. Maybe I'll be able to open it up. You see this little lever will push the dart from here into this wheel. They'll move fast and shoot the dart out. So this operates almost the same way, but you can use only one hand. And you can still load on the fly. And now for the more serious stuff, you want to get the rifle-sized blasters. So one of those, again, front loading. This is a Roto Fury. It's the Cyclone Shock's big brother. Works the same way. Prime and shoot. And this is for your military type, or a SWAT team, or bounty hunter, stuff like that. To really have a presence. Like, this isn't something you can just walk around and people won't notice. Another one of those weird things that people will notice is here, the bazooka I mentioned earlier. It's a bazooka. It's a small grenade launcher. You would pump up the air tank, fit over your little grenade, and I need to pump it more, but this can take up to 10 pumps easily. And hope I won't fire anything off. I got these not for firing these, but for something a bit more sinister. I'll show you later. And now for your really military oriented characters, you might want to go with magazines. So you get one of first thing I want to show you. Of course, these are just the common magazines you can find. This is a Busby. This is the 6 skill, but everybody hates because they give it away and it's not really useful. It only holds 6. So unless your game type demands you don't have a bigger capacity, always go for bigger capacities. These has 18, and I've even got a 22 mag from a third-party company called Worker, and that's supposed to come in soon. Another type of ammo that can have magazines is the Vortex. Vortex also has magazines. This one only came, this is a 20 disc magazine, only came with one blaster. That's the Nitron. So if you have more than one of these, there's probably a lonely Nitron someplace out there. And they also have drums. Like Elite Darts also have drums. I don't have any. They would hold more than 18 sometimes. This has 40 discs in it. That's a lot. This one only came with the Pyragon. That's a different blaster. I'll show you in a second. So what do you do with these? Well, for starters, we can have this semi-machine gun looking blaster. This is almost the same as the barricade we just saw. It has a couple of mortars here, and you press this, and it starts humming. Put one of these in, and you can just fire. This is empty. I'll load it up. See. Put them in. And also, you can get the banana mags. You can attach a couple together just to make it easier to load, as I've shown in a different video. Let's go here. Another thing to consider is another springer. Up to the strife, everything we showed you with the spring works by some sort of spring, compression spring, torsion spring. This one works on a torsion spring. You take one of these, fill her up. Just pump and shoot. And these can have a very high rate of fire, and because they have all rifles, because they have a longer lever here, you can be much more careful when aiming. You can get a better aim with these. And of course, because they're bigger, they don't have to hold your hand like this. You can hold it bigger. You can work with bigger muscles and faster muscles and shoot them much faster than some of the other things I've shown today. And this blaster also has a slam fire. That's the ability to just hold down the trigger and keep on pumping. As long as I've got ammo, you'll be keep on shooting. LED blasters can also have magazines. This is these magazines, the orange ones I've shown you, they're interchangeable. Okay, you can fit them. Both of those can fit in. No problem. this is the poat-apocalyptic and anywhere else but the States. But in the States, this is the Sentinel, and it's a very, very good blaster. It's hard to find now. It's new, but it's already hard to find because everybody got it. And the reason it's hard to find is it's pretty good. It shoots as well as a modded blaster before modding. So here, it's pretty cool. This is great for Western games, Weird West, zombie apocalypse games. You just go. I already did it, but these are great. This is great fun. And now for the big ones. Biggest rifle I have, and it's a rifle. This is the nice one. It's the only fully automatic blaster I have. Fully automatic means you hold down, it keeps shooting until it runs out. You don't have to press again, it just shoots. And it hums. I won't load it now, but I'll make you. Maybe you can see. Gotta push your arm inside. And this is like boss level stuff. This is you would give a villain, you give the heavy in your team if you have those kind of definitions. Of course, and this kind of stuff you want to have some type of bandolier to hold it with. Most blasters will have some place to tie it on. That's a bonus. Now, the last thing you can do. Well, we've gone over basic types of blasters. One last thing I want to show you is modding. Now, some places won't allow you. They'll just stock only. It means you can only use a blaster that you bought off the shelf. You can't modify it in any way. Some places will allow you to modify the blaster. You won't be allowed to modify the ammo. You can only get ammo, shoot ammo, either only the official Nerf ammo or just any type of bought ammo. It isn't homemade. It doesn't have any weights in it. Doesn't have any metal washers or felt tips or anything. Makes it hit harder. They would shoot straighter and farther, but they might be painful. So make sure you know what your game is up to. One of the easiest mods you can do is just replace the spring. That's what I did in this blaster. I won't open it now because you got to open up all these screws. But you can get it either by scavenging from older blasters or ordering. I ordered mine from Blaster Parts. They have a lot of that type of modification kits. You just get a stronger spring. It means it's harder to prime, but it shoots harder. And this gets in crazy ranges now. Another type of modification you can do is removing locks. Inside blasters, like say this one, the Strife comes with two locks. One lock that stops the blaster from firing if it doesn't have a magazine inside. So if I try to pull the rev trigger, it doesn't rev. There's no magazine inside. I put in a magazine. Fire. The other type of lock, and this one surprisingly Hasbro removed from the last batch of these. There was a lock that stops it from firing if it doesn't sense a dart in the magazine. And once you start using darts that aren't the toughest, aren't brand new, it would give you a false negative and would stop the blaster from firing. So you open this up and remove those little pieces of plastic. Some of them are electrical, like this one. It would not rev if this was open before I modded it. And if this would just jump open and you can hardly see it and don't understand why you're not firing until you go like this. So a lot of blasters have these mechanical locks. As I said, you can see there are also two in here to detect if you have discs. And if your disc isn't the perfect Nerf disc, like this one, it might have a little hole or might have a protruding center, you would not push against those and you would not be able to prime your blaster. So remove those and it's fun. Another thing you can do specifically on here is you can pre-compress the spring a bit. You open it up, you move the spring a bit over, or in springers you just put a little PVC circle to push the spring a bit, and you get more tension or more force out of the spring. Now, regarding these electrical blasters, you can change the batteries. These are regular AA batteries, give you 1.5 volts. These two will give you 3.7 to 4 volts. These are two different types of batteries, two different types of chemistry, and you never mix batteries from different types of chemistry together. You just don't. You wreck them, and you might even damage their stuff. So the first one, this is called an IMR battery. These are the more expensive kind, and they have good output. But you have to use a specific charger for this. Okay, you put it in a regular battery charger and you would ruin it. This is called, this is a Trustfire. This is a different type of rechargeable battery. These are, by the way, all 14500. Yep, 14500 size. That's their size. You can find a lot of 18500 or 18600 that are a bit longer. Those are used mainly in flashlights. These are 14500, and these are lithium ion. They can be used, but they're more dangerous because they don't have a lot of protection that these have. Usually what you do is, instead of using if your blaster requires you to use 4 of these, that gives you 6 volts, you would use about 3 of these or 3 of these and use a dummy battery. And this is just very light, it's empty. This just conducts instead of a battery. So you use 3 of these and 1 of these, or 3 of these and 1 of these. And if your blaster requires even less, you just use 2 and it falls. So here I've got 3 of these and 1 of these. And of course these give you about 11.2 volts. It depends on how charged they are. And that's almost twice as much than it can usually take. So you would have to go in, remove a thermistor. That's a little piece that shuts it down if it gets too much current. Gotta remove that, and that's either soldering or mechanically twisting it, depends on your blaster. And that's a bit advanced, but you get out of it a much faster and quicker response from these wheels, and things shoot much faster. And these wheels are run by small 130 size motors. You can of course replace these with stronger motors and replace the wiring with better wiring, thicker wiring for less resistance. Or you can even upgrade them to, these are 180 size motors. And these will get you much more power. They require more power, but they give you much more power. They respond faster and shoot even harder. I replaced my Nitrons pressure motor with 1 of these. And I'm working on a different project with another pair of these. And most fully automatic blasters will require you either C size or D size batteries. And you can find rechargeable batteries of that capacity, but it's harder. What you can easily find is these, just plastic canisters. Take a battery, and voila, I've got a C size battery, 3.7 volts. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you, and this isn't really for LARPing because it's too powerful, is making an air-powered blaster. Now I took an XBZ, and this is just a mock-up and isn't really useful. You get a nice aluminum or brass barrel, and you take an air tank, and this is just a very basic muzzle-loading rifle now. What I usually do, or I haven't really used it anymore, but you would take 1 of these, shove it down here, and yep, ball and musket drill. This. Then you start pumping. tin pumps, and I'll just show you how strong this thing is. I need a piece of cardboard for that. Box of junk. This is a bit out of frame. I just want to show you how strong this can be. As you can see, it just went right through. So this isn't for regular LARPing, but this can be fun. And of course, this can be made much nicer. I can open this up, take this small tank out, put it in a different blaster. Blaster has magazine feeding. So yeah. And as I mentioned, get your paints. Paints are important. Maybe there are a lot of better painting tutorials than mine out there, so look at them, not at me. I'm new at painting blasters. I used to paint miniatures for tabletop wargaming. Another thing you can do, it's considered modifying ammo, but you can just cut down darts. And this makes them fly a bit better, but most blasters won't be able to use these because they won't fit in here. It'll be problematic stacking, and if I push them in, they don't get pushed out enough to be grabbed by wheels, or they won't be pushed out enough to be shot by a springer. But this is perfect for, and that barrel shows you I can stuff like 7 of these in there and use it as a real shotgun. It's nice little. It's a tiny spread about this much, and you can't dodge it. And I think that's about it. Okay, I'll just